Hello everybody, welcome back to GCTV, welcome back as the sun almost begins to set as we now get ready for the big European summer. The sun goes down very, very late. Can you hear that there is some noise coming from the fans? And that is because Madrid in Motion are being welcomed into the ring. The official podium celebration is about to get underway behind me in just a few moments' time. But the top three teams have now been introduced, have now been called into the ring, and we'll join them in a few moments' time. But it is a big, big night for Valkenswaard United, who finally get to say that they are once again a stage winner on the Global Champions League. They have waited almost 2 years to be able to say that, since Hamburg 2022. How is it that the most successful team in Global Champions League history has waited 2 years to finally be crowned a stage winner? But they have done that here tonight. John Whittaker, Gilles Thomas finally being crowned champions again of a GCL stage. They finished in first place ahead of Madrid in Motion with Eduardo Alvarez Aznar, who jumps a double clear, by the way, for Madrid in Motion. And then Razorback International, we identified them as favorites. We knew Philip Weishaupt, Christian Kuckuck coming together. They looked so strong, double clear in round one. But then that final plank, catching out both Kuckuck and Weishaupt in round two, and that cost them dearly. It ends with Valkenswaard United being crowned the winners. Let's then go through to the official podium celebration. Teams 3, 2, and 1, your champions of Madrid 2024.
First time since Hamburg 2022. The man you can only love, and that is John Whittaker. And the man you can only admire, that is Gilles Thomas. Valkenswaard United win stage 5 of the championship here in Madrid. They win it by a time penalty. And there, awards and trophies to be presented.
Don Álvaro Arrieta, presidente de Auxerre Sport, va a ser el encargado de entregar el trofeo al equipo clasificado en la tercera plaza, el equipo Riesenbeck.
Alvaro Arrieta, as president of Auxerre Sport, to present the trophy to Riesenbeck International. In the end, 0.43 of a second too slow to take second place. Both riders having that final fence down. They'll be happy to be on the podium. They will be gutted by how they got onto the podium, because actually they had it in them to jump a double clear. Javier Revuelta, the president of the Spanish Equestrian Federation, to present the trophy to Madrid in Motion with Eduardo Alvarez Aznar as well as Michael van der Vleuten. There is Mr. Revuelta with the two trophies. For Edu Aznar and for Michael van der Vleuten. But the biggest trophy is presented by Jan Tops as president of the Global Champions League. Two trophies for the man himself, John Whittaker, and a trophy for the Shanghai Grand Prix winner, who is now also a GCL Grand Prix winner. Gilles Thomas tried to shake his hand, but Jan Tops left him hanging there. Trophies for Whittaker and for Thomas. Gilles Thomas, who a few years ago won the Copa del Rey that will be held tomorrow here in Madrid. A historical, a classic on the show jumping circuit. And I think Van der Vleuten is waving to his daughter, who is screaming at him from hospitality. But there is a beautiful trophy, an extra trophy presented by Veronica Fernandez de Cordova, who is part of the administration of Marqués de Riscal, and the board of Marqués de Riscal. Of course, partners of the event here, but also partners of Madrid in Motion. So somewhere there is a little bit of a victory there for Marqués de Riscal. The very, very tasty wine. If you're a wine lover, this is a must-have in your wine cellar to let age or to enjoy straight away, as summer will hopefully hit Europe or wherever you might be. maybe it's summer or sunny wherever you are. And Marqués de Riscal is a good one to try. Riojas or Blancos, or white or red wines of Marqués de Riscal. They're both old enough to have a sip of that, what is that? A Magnum is for champagne. I don't know if that's the case. Oh, madam, be careful if that's the case for wines as well. Oh, this is a little bit of a sad champagne shower, is it not? Van der Vleuten doesn't spray his teammate. That's real friendship. While Gilles Thomas does get quite a bit of a spray. And he knows the taste of champagne by now after having a huge spray out in Shanghai. You're never old enough to have, or too old to have some fun with friends and with champagne. There they are. John Whittaker strikes again. Valkenswaard United strike again. That'll be a very special picture for Edu Aznar to hang in the trophy room. Aznar was the quickest, and they were all aiming for Gilles Thomas, even with the cork on. Edu. Weishaupt was smarter. He made his way off the podium, uncorked then, and then in a second shot got the better of Gilles Thomas again. Good to see Weishaupt back on the league as well. No, they all wanted to be inside or a step higher on the podium. They had it in them. Riesenbeck International, powered by Kingsland, but the last fence twice played a very big role for both Philly Weishaupt and Christian Kukuc. Madrid in Motion were in the end faster than the two other teams on the podium, but their score was too high. 8 penalties it was for Madrid in Motion and 7 in the end for Valkenswaard United after a very gutsy approach from John Whittaker. First a rail fell and then he reduced the pace and took 2 time penalties, but that was just enough to keep them on 7 in front of Madrid in Motion, who finish on 8. This was the 5th stage of Global Champions League, ladies and gentlemen. Madrid, thank you very much. The green grass, not of home, but of the club Campo de Villa, has given Valkenswaard United their first win since Hamburg 2022. For Global Champions League, we have to head out to Saint-Tropez in 2 weeks at the sandring of the Plage Pamplonne at the Longines Onassis horse show. But here in Madrid, action is far from over. Tomorrow, it is the Copa del Rey live from the Club Campo de Villa. And on Sunday, on the beautiful sunshine, we'll all enjoy the 5th Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of the 2024 season. Here from Madrid, ladies and gentlemen, for now and from GCL, thank you very much for watching and see you very soon, maybe even already tomorrow, for the Copa del Rey. Bye-bye.
What a night this has been for Valkenswaard United and for that young man Gilles Thomas, after going on to win the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of Shanghai. Now barely a week or two later on top of the podium in the Global Champions League as well. It's proving to be a pretty good spell for the young Belgian rider alongside John Whittaker. And in fact, they're right over there, just alongside me. We're going to bring the champions of Madrid into the studio. As we said, breaking the hearts of Madrid in Motion fans here who were hoping that, led by Eduardo Alvarez Aznar, who jumped double clear today, that they would go on to get on top of the podium. It was not meant to be. Just a single time penalty separating Valkenswaard United on 7 and Madrid in Motion on 8. And they were just faster than Riesenbeck International, powered by Kingsland, our favourites for the Madrid 2024 title. Unfortunately, we'll have to deal with 3rd place. But it once again just reiterates and reminds us that when Christian Kukuc and Philip Weishaupt come together, when Just Be Gentle comes through with Zinedine, when you have the horsepower that they have, success is right around the corner. What does this podium do to the overall championship standings? Because as it stood going into the weekend, as we came through to Madrid, Canstars held on to the championship lead. They were ahead of the Stockholm Hearts and the Doha Falcons. But now all of a sudden things have changed. Take a look at the jump of Valkenswaard United, who were 11th coming into Madrid and now find themselves in 3rd place. They climbed drastically. The Canstars, powered by Iron Dames, hold on to the championship lead. Stockholm Hearts do not move, but it is just a single point difference. New York Empire climb, Prague Lions climb, but the Rome Gladiators and the Doha Falcons do drop down. This is a look at the new current overall rankings now that the 5th leg of the Global Champions League has come to a close here in Madrid. Speaking of the team, Madrid in Motion climb. They were 13th coming into Madrid. They've climbed 3 places inside the top 10 now, and the Scandinavian Vikings stay bottom, and because of these 0 points, despite winning in Shanghai, the Shanghai Swans pick up 0 points, round 1 elimination. Jean Sadran, they take home 0 and they drop as well. Riesenbeck International is standing by alongside with Dan Strange. We get some reaction from our 3rd place finishers. The team powered by Kingsland International is alongside Dan Strange.
Yeah, great to have Christian and Philip here from Riesenbeck International. 3rd again this season. It's been a messy round here in Madrid. How does a podium finish feel here this time?
Well, if I should be honest, there were times I was more happy about a 3rd place. I had kind of more expectations today for us. I was really looking for a win, and honestly, I think it would have been really possible. You can say now, okay, it's bad luck. We both had the last fence down, but 2 times bad luck is a bit too much for me. Anyway, we did a step now in the overall compared to our up and down a bit in that season. We are now again on the up part, so that's the good thing anyway for today. And now we have to see that we keep on going at least like that, and hopefully with the winning in the next week again also.
Philip, the end of both of your rounds was breathtaking because we've spoken a lot today about the undulation of this course. How difficult was it to balance your horse towards the end of the round to make sure you kept him moving forward, but also make sure you get over the fence as best you can?
Yeah, that's a bit like what Christian said, the sad part, because our horses felt both of my horses in both rounds felt fantastic. In the 2nd round now, Checker and also Kobe, they basically walked over it. It was not 1 second you had the feeling, oh, that was lucky, or they had to work hard or something, and they just touched the last jump, the plank, and obviously the plank, if you touch it, it's down. So it's not really, I can't really be angry at something or say, oh, I should have done this better or that better. It went a little bit stupid. Horses jumped great, and yeah, hopefully next time we do better.
Christian, 78 points just puts you just outside that cluster on 80. You're well prepped, you're well primed for Saint-Tropez and moving through this European leg with, of course, Riesenbeck to come in July.
Yeah, I hope actually that we go into Riesenbeck again in the lead of the overall. I mean, that's what I'm really looking for, and I'm already excited and very positive excited for Saint-Tropez and Cannes to come. And yeah, just what I said. I hope that we can move up in these 2 shows with a big step again.
Gentlemen, thank you for your time. Congratulations on another podium. Back over to Mark in the studio.
Thank you.
Right, Dan, thank you very much. So high is the standard and the expectation of Riesenbeck International that you get the feeling that 3rd place finish does not feel like a success for them at all. They were one of the 2 teams on double clear going into round 2. They had the final plank go down for both riders, seeing them come home on 8, and because of that they fell down to 3rd place. But no one was better, no team was better than that of Valkenswaard United, who were crowned champions of Madrid in 2024. We bring them into the studio, Gilles Thomas, who who spent some time with me here in Shanghai a couple of weeks ago after winning the LGCT Grand Prix there. He's getting very comfortable. John Whittaker, as comfortable on a podium as you will ever find. Gentlemen, congratulations. Gilles, you like spending some time here? It's been back-to-back now.
Yeah, it's nice to see you again.
Listen, let's start by talking about this combination, John. We made jokes in the commentary about the youth and the experience. Do you feel that being able to ride with a young man like this, does it complement each other very well?
He rides so good. I'm very happy to ride with Gilles. He did a brilliant job today.
The no changes, Gilles, was a surprise. You were only one of two teams that didn't make changes. Can you talk to us about what the conversation was after round one that made that decision to not make changes?
I think actually it was already a decision that we made the day before.
Okay.
I think both of our horses were quite fresh. They didn't jump a lot the last couple of weeks. That's why we could use them both in team class today.
John, Madrid is traditionally a very difficult place to jump. 7 penalties over 2 rounds for 2 men suggests that you guys were really, really strong here today. Were you surprised by 7 penalties being the winning score?
I was actually. When Gilles had a time fault in the first round, so I thought, okay, I can risk a time fault, but 3 time faults was too much.
Yeah.
Well, just enough, actually.
Let's talk about fence 3. I know you were frustrated by it. What happened there? Very unlikely.
Well, I decided I was going to do 7 strides to number 4, because that was causing a lot of problems. A lot of horses had 4B down. So I thought, I made my mind up I'd do an extra stride there, which worked out really good. So I rode it probably a little bit close to number 3 and he just clipped it.
What we've done is we've opened up our social media accounts. We've been asking for some questions to our GCL winning team of Valkenswaard United. John, I'll stay with you. From Hannah Jones. John, you are my idol. You are to many.
Thank you.
Did you know how close you were to the time in the round? At what stage of your round were you starting to wonder how close you were to the time?
When I was coming to the second last fence, Gilles was shouting at me. Then I knew I was close.
Now,
I still knew I had to jump the plank.
Yeah.
So,
but you had faith in Unique that he would get over the line?
Well, it was a difficult fence. A lot of horses had the plank. You know, it's a bit of a joker fence.
What was so tricky about it? We saw that plank go down.
Just a big fence at the end of a big course, you know. Yeah, planks always cause problems. And the last fence, also a little bit tired. Especially when you've been going quick. Okay, I wasn't quick, but just an easy fence to knock down.
Now, if you are alongside John Whittaker, you would imagine that the fan pages would be for John. But here's a question from Gilles Thomas' fan page. Do you know you have a fan page, by the way?
No, I don't.
No? And there, you see, there's John's fans calling him. You have a fan page, by the way. Gilles Thomas, you're on fire. How cool is it to ride with John Whittaker again, is the question.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Actually, I'm very happy that I could win, but also together with John, it's something I will always remember. Also, our team is it's made of some legends like Marcus Zening and John and Edwina, so it's really nice to be part of Valkenswaard.
So don't run away yet, we'll stay with you, but as it stands now, Madrid in motion, standing by with Dan Strange. Second place finishes here in Madrid. Let's hear from them.
Yeah, I've got Madrid in motion with me. Michael, we've just been talking off air about the frustrations of losing a leg, it was an epic leg really in the end. Talk me through how you felt. You said having that fence down, obviously costly, and time really was a factor.
Well, yeah, that was an unlucky rail, and my horse felt good actually, both horses, both rounds, and they failed to jump a clear round, and then you have with both horse silly fault, and that's you know, especially here in Madrid, you know, the home team, and you prefer not making them, but that's how the sport is. And as I said, my horses jumped fantastic, and you know, Edu, he was great again today with 2 super clear rounds, and yeah, on the end we were very close, but we have to be very happy with the second place.
Edu, the feelings, the emotions of second compared to first, I think everyone knows. But for you, the pride of having a Madrid in Motion badge on your chest, here in front of your family, your friends, your home crowd, how did it feel to be involved in that, and how proud are you of what the team have achieved today despite not winning?
Well, very happy to jump here in front of my people. No? I'm from Madrid, and I also grew up riding in this club, so it's quite interesting to jump here in front of them now with this team and being in the podium today. Yeah, what can I say? We needed the points, and it's the best place to start climbing in the board. So we need to keep fighting.
One of those rounds where the teams down the bottom are really starting to make some moves, and you're in 10th, but you're only 10 places, you're in 10th, but you're only 10 points off Cannes Stars. So you're putting yourself in a really good position now moving forward.
No, this was definitely, we needed it because we had no podium place so far, and as I said, we needed this, and hopefully we can keep strong the coming events. And I think we have the right people there to perform well. So let's stay focused and try to keep on going.
Michael, Edu, thank you so much for your time and well ridden today.
Good, thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you very much to Madrid in Motion dance range, getting some comments and some reaction from the team, finishing in second place, and some refreshments for Valkenswaard United. Gilles Thomas, can we talk about Hermitage today? Because I think a lot of people were excited to see it. Talk to me about that combination, because I think what we saw today looked as if you were jumping a very, very experienced horse.
Yeah, everything what he did so far always felt also very easy. It looks easy, but it also felt very easy. He's very popular, but he's so good that it takes all the pressure off when I ride him. And again today, he jumped 2 very good runs. So I'm very happy. The first time that I could use him for the team, and it's also nice that it's straight a win.
John, was there a message shared from Jan Tops on the podium?
Yeah, he said about time.
That's what he said, about time? Yeah. It is about time. Hamburg 2022 was the last time that Valkenswaard United were able to get on top of the podium. Gilles, I have the standings for you here. In fact, you and I were watching it together. Valkenswaard United go from 11th place on the table, now up to 3rd. You are only 3 points behind the championship leaders of the Cannes Stars. Does this all of a sudden change the perspective of what the season can look like for the team at the end of the season?
Yeah, it's good. I didn't expect it that we would move up so far. But it's good that we are now 3rd, so I think it will make a bit difference. So now from now on, we already did, but maybe now a bit more. We're going to focus on the team, yeah.
What happens to Saint-Tropez and Cannes? Gilles, are you coming to Saint-Tropez and Cannes?
I come to Cannes.
Only to Cannes. John, what is the next for you?
I do Saint-Tropez and Cannes.
Saint-Tropez and Cannes. We will see you in Saint-Tropez. We will see you in Cannes. Congratulations, gentlemen. Valkenswaard United, your champions of Madrid 2024, and making massive strides up the overall championship standings, jumping from 11th at the start of the day up to 3rd. We take a break. When we return, we wrap up the day with Frederik de Backer.
Elegance is an attitude. Of course it is. attitude. Of course it is.
Welcome back to GCTV for some closing moments as the sun almost begins to set here in Madrid. There's still a handful of fans that have hung around. In fact, they're catching up with Gil Thomas and with John Witziger just to my left-hand side there. And then just to my right-hand side, I saw Eduardo Alvarez Aznar getting stopped by some local Spanish fans as well. So those that have come out to the sports ground here today certainly are getting their money's worth by hanging around and getting to chat to the GCL podium finishers. Before we close, always good for us to catch up with Frederick de Backer to try and get some thoughts, his closing thoughts on how the stage went. Frederick de Backer, welcome back to the show. Thank you very much for making some time. A single time fault separating 1 and 3 tells me that this was never really comfortable for Valkenswaard United. Talk to me about how tight this finish really was.
I've got some really interesting numbers to it, Mark. How many clear rounds did we see, is a question.
Very few.
Well, 3 out of 26, that's 11%.
Wow.
Normally we are around 30%. So that's a third of what we normally add. So just 10% have jumped clear. Now you would say, or I would say, or if you hear those, that you would say, wow, that was a tough round. So my next question is, how many combinations finished on more than, and I have to be careful that I say it right, finished on 3 fences down?
No, don't ask me maths questions now when I have all of this information in front of me. That's the question I need to ask you. Give us the answer. How did it go?
Only one. Only Hendrik van Eckerman, the world number one, finished on a score of 12. For the rest, everybody was on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9s. So on one side, Varela has made this very difficult and very exciting. On the other side, Varela has made this very fair and very jumpable. He had fences, he had 2 or 3 fences that really stood out. The plank at the end, the center of the triple combination. After the rollback by the in-gate, the vertical of Caser Seguras. But he also had a good spread. I think only 2 fences were not taken down in the entire course. So if you think about the fact that we've got 3 teams within 1 penalty of each other, that we only have a 11% clear round rate, and still we have a good spread and just 1 rider at 12 penalties or more. That's bizarre what Santiago Varela has designed here. So he's given us the perfect canvas. He's drawn a beautiful painting on that canvas that was in front of him to give us a beautiful, beautiful painting. It was really a piece of art from his side.
Oh, and that'll be lovely to unpack in the day after. That'll be available for you, by the way, very, very shortly here on GCTV as we take a further, deeper look as to what Santiago Varela has put together here. Frederick, let's also talk about what this does to the championship table. I informed Gil Thomas, John Witziger now, that Valkenswaard United jump up a huge amount of places. If I'm not mistaken, from, I had it somewhere here in my notes that you now made me change. 11th to 3rd, Frederick. That is a huge, huge climb for them from a championship point of view. What is the impact of this Madrid finish, not just for Valkenswaard, but for the top teams that seem to really struggle, the likes of Doha and Cannes, etc. It was a really, really deep impact weekend, wasn't it?
It is, and it isn't. It's not a deep impact weekend for the teams that were on top of the board. It's a deep impact weekend for the teams that were at the bottom of the board. We have to look back, and we'll unpack it in the day after, like you say, but I have to look back with how many points, the spread between first and last place that we came out of Mexico. Then the whole field came together after Shanghai, and now the field is even more compact after Madrid. So last year you had Paris and you had Riesenbeck racing away from everybody. Now, like we said, it is 10 points between the championship lead and the 10th place on the championship standings. That means that's the difference between winning, and I have to be careful, between winning and coming 4th at one stage. That's the difference for 10 teams. Unbelievable how tight this is. I mean, can you imagine what is going to happen in Saint-Tropez and Cannes? Everything has come together. Anybody can win from now on, but also anybody can lose on the championship as well, like Scandinavian Vikings, who really lost.
And what a contrast that has been from, as you say, the Paris Panthers and Riesenbeck International season of 2023. Can we also talk about this beautiful combination that complemented each other? And when I say youth and experience, I don't even mean just the riders of Gilles and John. I mean the horses as well, because from Hermitage and Unique, what a unique, wonderful combination of youth and experience coming together perfectly for this Valkenswaard United team today.
Yeah, it would be a very easy joke to make, to say that grandfather and grandson together made it onto the podium. That's a really, really cheap joke. But it's like Edwina Thompson-Alexander said after Gilles Thomas's win back in Shanghai, she thinks the world of him. Gilles Thomas thinks the world of John Whittaker, and John Whittaker thinks the world of Gilles Thomas. There is around about 40 years difference between Gilles Thomas and between John Whittaker. But it's a fantastic combination. What a great duo.
And final word, Frederica, just from you on Riesenbeck International, powered by Kingsland. It seemed like in the podium conversation that they had with Dan Strange, the standards are so high, the expectation is so high that there almost seemed to be some frustration from Riesenbeck, who for many teams getting onto the podium in a GCL stage is a real achievement. We put them down as favorites, they didn't succeed. It's valuable championship points, but how do you think they'll be feeling at the end of tonight?
Yeah, like you say, gutted, because they're not thinking about it's a rail and okay, we've closed up on the gap. No, they are really thinking of we wanted to because they finished third. If they had 9 points more, Mark, where would they have been? I don't have the standings here with me, but if they had 9 points more, which is the difference between finishing third or winning, where would they be if they had 9 points more? I think they would have been second.
If they had,
at worst.
I will tell you exactly. If they had 9 points more, they currently find themselves on 78. Plus 9 points there, if you and I do the math, takes them to 87, which is the same score that the Kunststars in first place find themselves.
There you go.
Unbelievable.
So
that final plank going down for the two of them. Yeah. Wow.
And not only did they lose the stage win, they also lost the championship lead. Can you imagine, after being lost in Miami and being eliminated in Shanghai in round 2, that they actually lose the championship lead here in Madrid, with both horses having a fault on the same final fence? It's unbelievable, Mark.
And again, we talk about how tight the season is becoming, and there's a wonderful example of that Riesenbeck International with two fences, those two final planks going down, could potentially jump from 9 to 1. But let's leave it there, Frederick. We're going to dive into all of this on the day after as well. As I say, that'll be available for you on GCTV. There is a Copa del Rey to come tomorrow, and the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of Madrid to come. Frederick de Backer, thank you. Good night. We will chat to you soon. It has been a very, very intriguing stage of Global Champions League action. As Frederick says, Stockholm Hearts and Kunststars at the top of the table remain somewhat unharmed. Valkenswaard United make a massive jump up. And the Doha Falcons, Prague Lions, New York Empire, Rome Gladiators all kind of hang around in the middle of the table. And for Riesenbeck International to jump up to 9th place, how different would have looked if Christian Kuckuck and Philipp Weishout did not have the final plank down each. These are questions to be answered in the day after. We thank you for your time. We thank you for joining us here in Madrid. There's a lot more to come throughout the rest of the weekend. But from a GCL stage, we say Madrid, thank you and good night. We'll see you next in Saint-Tropez.
To feel the breeze, the lightness of the sea, the sounds of the seagulls. This is where fashion meets fun, where suspense holds time captive, where the beating of my heart merges with the gallop. To win here is to conquer time.
The Longines Global Champions Tour of Ramatuelle Saint-Tropez from the 30th of May to the 1st of June.